Welcome everybody to Tarantulas in the Sip. Once again, I'm Landon as always, and today we're going to be doing a rehousing on a Brachypelma Boehmei, or a Mexican fire leg. Sorry, you're getting experience when you know the scientific name, the Latin name over the common name. We named him Firewalker. Once again, a big fan of pop culture. I believe that's a Chuck Norris movie that is well fitting nowadays since he is passed, so a little honor in him. This is my second tarantula I ever had. He's just molted, so we're going to get to see some very nice, vibrant colors on him. Once again, this is the Brachypelma species, so you get the dark black with the bright oranges, reds, sometimes some yellows mixed in with that really pop. Something I want to go over real quick. You can see here, since this is a beginner's channel and I'm fairly new into the hobby, over a year, but still I consider that fairly new. You'll see the substrates roll up. What you want to do when you put substrate in is make sure you pack it down real good. That's for two reasons. You want to make sure that it's going to settle, first of all, and if it settles, you see it loses a lot of height. Also, they don't like walking on that spongy ground. Now, if he'd ever showed any sign of stress, I would have rehoused him and done it again, but he hasn't. He's actually been a very good tarantula for me. He did kick hairs at a couple of molts ago. We'll see how he does today. But to get into this species a little bit, they get about 5 to 6 inches, just like all other Brachypelma species. The humidity is about the same, 50 to 70. I don't keep the substrate really moist. I've kept it pretty arid, keeping a water dish in there and wet down a corner every so often. He's done perfectly fine with that. Females live 20 to 30 years. Males live 5 to 10 years. As we've talked about that's par for the course. But before I get into the rehousing, I also want to let you know that we got some extra treats coming up this week. So on next week's video, we'll have the dedicated room set up. We're going to try to have that real nice, have it kind of themed. We're also going to be doing an unboxing this week, so that'll be an additional video we have. And next week's rehousing is going to be a real treat. It's one of the actual behemoths of the tarantula world, so I think that would be really cool to show y'all, and we can have a good time doing that rehousing to see early stages of what will one day be a very giant spider. But we'll go ahead and get into the rehousing now. All right, this is the new rehouse. I know it looks like almost every other one I've done, but like I've said, as they're still growing, I keep it pretty basic. I got some leaf litter, my classic mix that I've mentioned before, 10% vermiculite, remembered that time, 40% peat, and 40% cocoa fiber. Got a cork bark hide, got the water dish. I haven't wet this anymore. After we get them rehoused, I'll wet a corner or so. As you can see, the substrate is a little deeper. It gradates a little bit, gives him a little room to dig deeper. He hasn't been a big burrower. He's been pretty bold and out, and I like that about him. He's one of our more showy spiders. But we'll go ahead and get into it now. We'll try to get y'all some good footage. Let the camera lady see what she can see for a little bit. And you see most of their legs, other than their femurs and their toes, are orange with that kind of orangey tan carapace, some orange setae on the abdomen. He put on a good bit of size. If you can see right in front of him to his left, there's a little bit of the molt mat still left where he did his molting. And like I said, I really love this genus of tarantulas. I love the colors. I just like the contrast between the dark and the bright. And this was my first Brachypelma species. In the unboxing, I have another species of this genus coming, and I'm really excited about that. It's one I've been waiting on, but I won't spoil too much about that. We'll get into that whenever that time comes, but we'll get into it now. Alrighty, we got our classic bottle. His leg's a little on the side here, but we're just going to kind of try to scoot him into the bottle. Real nice and easy like we always do. He's almost in there just like that, but I think he's wanting to be a little defensive. Yeah, he's giving a little bit of a threat posture there. We'll be gentle with him. That's always what I say is between each molt, they can change personalities. I got him good and covered up here though. So we're going to see if we can just get him right on in there. I don't think he can go anywhere. He's stuck in this bottle now. That'll make the camera lady feel better. He hadn't kicked hairs, but I don't know what's worse, hairs or a defensive posture. We're going to try to turn him sideways and we'll get this water dish out so we can turn it. There we go. They always want to go up. There we go. Look at that. I'll get the cardboard on the bottom. No issues. I've heard this is a bit of a feistier species in this genus. But you know what? If you stay calm, it'll help your spider stay calm. Something we might not have went over is that each setae, each little hair, is a sensory organ. So when air hits that, just be still and let it just kind of sit on them. When it hits them, it sets off all kind of alarms, and they're like, you know, is there something after me? Something trying to get me? And so they're just being defensive. They're not being aggressive. They, you know, they don't want to be harmed like anything else wants to be harmed. But as you can see those striking oranges there, and I hate to say it, but he is one of my favorites. I've always liked old Firewalker. Alrighty, we got some good footage there, so we'll go ahead and get to the rehousing portion. And as always, we're going to aim him right towards his hole. He's coming straight to the top. We might can turn it around and take the cap off, but we'll try it this way first. Sorry. You kind of want to maintain contact. You don't want to touch him too much. And I know I'm readjusting, but I have to try to get him out of here. That way it just, once again, not being sensory overloaded. There we go. And it looks like going to go straight in just about. I don't know if y'all could hear the little legs running away, but we definitely could hear it. It's something to behold, those little skittering legs. It's all right. Camera lady got a little nervous, so we'll get the lid on. Make sure everything's secured. And he is in there. We'll try to... No hair kicking. I am really pleased with that. Alrighty. Once again, this is stressful for him. So I'm not going to do anything to stress him out anymore. We're just going to lock the lid down, and we'll see y'all in a minute. 3. Well, he did get a little skittish on us and a little bit of a threat posture. I didn't see any fangs bared. But look, like I said, in between molts, their demeanors can change. This is still a juvenile. They're still in a growing stage. So that's when you see the skittishness most of the time, or the defensiveness. Now it can go throughout their whole life. I don't want to mislead anybody. But all in all, that rehousing went very well. Nothing went unplanned. Um, from one to the bottle to the next, I don't think we can ask for any better than that. I do want to remind everybody this is a terrestrial species. I know I keep forgetting to go over that in the notes. Um, that's another reason to fill the substrate up half or 2/3 is to make sure, they get heavier bodies. So, and they wander. So if they wander to the top and take a fall, their abdomen can rupture, and we want to take care of our tarantulas. So we'll make sure to get that substrate good and full. You almost can't do too much for them. As long as they have room to move in there, you're good. Now, on some of the burrowing species, some of the fossorial species, they can build turrets that'll come up to the top, so be aware of that. We'll go over that when we get into some of those. I do have a couple of those that we'll eventually showcase. I want to remind everybody we also have a TikTok channel by the same name. My wife runs that. It's just a little more fun videos, just showing off the tarantulas we have in a cute manner. She really loves doing it. So go ahead and subscribe to that if you don't mind, and give her some love. She's really trying to get into this with me as well. I don't ever think she'll be doing anything like this, but she loves it. I love it, and she supports me. So please give her a shout out. Um, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. The views I'm getting are way more than I ever thought I'd get, and I really appreciate each and every one of you. And I can't wait to see you next time. Thank you.